Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is Sports Dom coming back with another video, and this is my 2025-2026 Buffalo Sabres schedule release. As promised, I told you I would get it done. So October 9th is when they start the regular season. They begin the season at home against the New York Rangers. Then Saturday the 11th, they play at the Boston Bruins. And then they go on a 3-game homestand. October 13th, they play home against the Colorado Avalanche. October 15th, they're home against the Ottawa Senators and Dylan Cousins. And October 14th, they're at home, or October 18th, I'm sorry, and they are at home against the back-to-back Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. October 20th, they're at the Montreal Canadiens. October 22nd, they're home against the Detroit Red Wings. And we have their former goaltender Alex Lyon. Then October 24th, they're home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then October 25th, they're at the Toronto Maple Leafs. October 24th, they're home against the... October 28th, they're home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. And October 30th, they close out October at the Boston Bruins. November 4th, they're at home against Jason Peterka and the Utah Mammoth. November 1st, they have a game before Utah. November 1st, they're at home against the Washington Capitals. Then November 4th, they're at home against Jason Peterka and the Utah Mammoth. And then November the 6th, they're home against the St. Louis Blues. And then they go on a 4-game road trip. November the 8th, they're at the Carolina Hurricanes. November the 12th, they're at the Utah Mammoth. November 13th, they're at the Colorado Avalanche. November 15th, they're at the Detroit Red Wings. November 17th is a Monday, they're home against the Edmonton Oilers. November 19th, they're home against the Calgary Flames. November 21st, they are home against the Chicago Blackhawks. November 23rd, they're home against the Carolina Hurricanes. November 26th, they're at the Pittsburgh Penguins. November 28th, they're home against the New Jersey Devils. And November 29th, they are at the Minnesota Wild. December 1st, they are home against the Winnipeg Jets. December 3rd, they're at the Philadelphia Flyers. They're on a 5-game road trip. And then December 5th, they're at the Winnipeg Jets. December 8th, they're at the Calgary Flames. December 9th, they're at the Edmonton Oilers. And December 11th, they are at the Vancouver Canucks. I'm sorry, this is a 6-game road trip because December 14th, they're at the Seattle Kraken. December 18th, they are home against the Philadelphia Flyers. December 20th, home against the New York Islanders. December 21st, they're at the New Jersey Devils. December 23rd, they're at the Ottawa Senators. December 27th, they are home against the Boston Bruins. December 29th, they are at the St. Louis Blues. And to close out 2025, December 31st, New Year's Eve, they are at the Dallas Stars. All right, to begin 2026, January 3rd, they're at the Columbus Blue Jackets. January 6th, they're home against the Vancouver Canucks. January 7th, they are at the New York Rangers, who they open the season against at home. January 10th, they are home against the Anaheim Ducks. This is a 5-game homestand. January 12th, I'm sorry. I keep getting these mixed up. January 12th, they are home against the 2-time back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, Florida Panthers. January 14th, they are home against the Philadelphia Flyers. January 15th, they are home against the Montreal Canadiens. January 17th, they are home against the Minnesota Wild. Then they go on a 5 game road trip. January 19th, they're at the Carolina Hurricanes. January 20th, they're at the Nashville Predators. January 22nd, they're at the Montreal Canadiens. January 24th, they're at the New York Islanders. And January 27th, they're at the Toronto Maple Leafs. January 29th, they are home against the Los Angeles Kings. January 31st, they are home against the Montreal Canadiens. February 2nd, they are home against they're at the Florida Panthers. January 3rd, they're at the Tampa Bay Lightning. And February 2nd, they're at the Florida Panthers. February 3rd, they're at the Tampa Bay Lightning. February 5th, they're home against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Then they get 2 weeks off. I think that's for the Olympics. February 25th, they're at the New Jersey Devils. February 27th, they're at the Florida Panthers. And February 28th, they're at the Tampa Bay Lightning. March 3rd, they are home against Jack Eichel and the Vegas Golden Knights. March 5th, they're at the Pittsburgh Penguins. March 7th, they're home against the Nashville Predators. March 8th, they're home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. March 10th, they're home against the San Jose Sharks. March 12th, they're home against the Washington Capitals. March 14th, they're home against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Then they go on a 4-game road trip. March 17th, they're at Jack Eichel and the Vegas Golden Knights. March 19th, they're at the San Jose Sharks. March 21st, they're at the Los Angeles Kings. And March 22nd, they're at the Anaheim Ducks. Then they go on a 4-game homestand. March 25th, they are home against the Boston Bruins. March 27th, home against the Detroit Red Wings. March 28th, home against the Seattle Kraken. And March 31st, they are home against the New York Islanders. April 2nd, they are at the Ottawa Senators. April 4th, they're at the Washington Capitals. April 6th, they are home against the Tampa Bay Lightning. April 8th, they're at the New York Rangers. April 9th, home against the Columbus Blue Jackets. April 13th, they are at the Chicago Blackhawks. And then they end the season just like they began it, at home, this time against the Dallas Stars. So their final game of the regular season will be against the Dallas Stars. So that is the Buffalo Sabres 2025-2026 regular season schedule. It is a good one, and I can't wait for these games. The season opener and home opener, October 9th against the New York Rangers. So, guys, comment in the comment section below on what you think. And as always, if you like my videos, then it's easy. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you don't miss a video. This is Sports Dom saying peace. Go Sabres. And I hope you guys enjoyed this schedule breakdown. And I'll be watching closely the 2 games we play against the Utah Mammoth, and JJ Peterka. I'll be watching the Toronto Maple Leafs games because them are always, good games. The Vancouver Canucks should be a good one. The Philadelphia Flyers, we got some tough games coming up, but it's a good schedule. I like that we end the season against Dallas, against a Western Conference team. We end the season against 2 Western Conference teams, Chicago Blackhawks and the Dallas Stars. So guys, comment, like, subscribe. Go Sabres. And I can't wait till our 2025-2026 Buffalo Sabres Season begins October 9th at the KeyBank Center in downtown Buffalo against the New York Rangers. Go Sabres!